You protected a human, and now Earth has declared war over it. Captain Elijah Carter sat in the command chair of the Nova Horizon, staring at the black expanse of space through the wide viewport. The stars were silent, cold, and distant, but out there, somewhere, a story was unfolding. He ran a hand over his short brown hair, thinking about the mission ahead. The Council of Earth had sent him to negotiate with the Xylar, a strict alien species known for their rigid rules about interstellar conduct. It was supposed to be a routine mission: travel to the Xylar system, meet their leaders, discuss trade and peace, and return home. Simple. Routine, nothing unusual, or so he thought. The Nova Horizon hummed quietly, its engines producing a soft vibration that ran through the metal floor. The ship had a crew of 40, all humans trained in diplomacy, engineering, and combat. Among them were Ryan Hamilton, the ship's chief engineer, a clever man with a knack for fixing things in unexpected ways, and Claire Bennett, the communications officer, calm and precise, with a mind that seemed to calculate every probability before speaking. Captain Carter trusted his crew completely. They had been through drills, simulations, and minor emergencies, but nothing could prepare them for what they were about to find. The warning signal went off without ceremony. Red lights flashed across the control panel, and Claire called out, "Captain, we've detected a drifting object on sensors. It's not registered in any galactic logs." Elijah leaned forward. "Bring it up on the screen." The display lit with the image of a small freighter, battered and scarred, drifting slowly through the void. Its lights flickered weakly. The hull had burn marks and several panels were missing. It looked abandoned. Yet there was something about it that made Carter uneasy. "It's too quiet," Ryan muttered, adjusting the scanners. "No life signs, that can't be right. Even a derelict usually has some residual readings." "Let's check closer," Elijah said. "Prepare an approach. We need to know if anyone is on board." The Nova Horizon moved slowly, carefully maneuvering alongside the freighter. Its surface was cold and lifeless, but the sensors picked up a faint thermal reading. Claire frowned at the monitor. "Captain, there's something small on board. Moving, barely detectable, but it's alive." Elijah's heart skipped. "How small?" "Human-sized," she replied. The words hung in the air. A child, a human child lost in the endless void of space. "Bring a boarding team," Elijah ordered. "I want this child safe." The airlock hissed as the boarding party prepared to enter the freighter. Ryan led them, carrying a small emergency scanner and repair kit. The freighter's interior was dark, corridors dimly lit by flickering lights. Panels hung loose from the walls, wires dangling like vines. It smelled of burnt circuits and something faintly metallic. At the end of the main corridor, they found her. The child huddled in a corner, her small body trembling, eyes wide with fear. She had tangled brown hair and a face smudged with dirt and exhaustion. Elijah knelt down beside her. "Hey there, it's okay. You're safe now. My name is Elijah. What's yours?" The girl looked at him, uncertain. "Lily," she whispered. "Lily," he repeated gently. "We're going to take you home. You don't have to be afraid anymore." She didn't move at first, just stared with wide eyes. Ryan crouched beside Elijah, speaking softly. "Hey kid, you're safe. We're not going to hurt you." Slowly she nodded, wrapping her arms around herself. The crew carefully helped her to her feet. She was thin, small for her age, and scared, but otherwise seemed unharmed. Elijah glanced around the freighter. Debris floated in zero gravity, and the main power core was flickering dangerously. "We'll need to tow this ship back," Ryan said. "It's not stable enough for her to stay here." As they prepared to leave, a sudden ping sounded on the sensors. Elijah frowned. "What is it?" "Xylari warships," Claire said, voice tight. "Approaching fast. They've detected the freighter." Elijah's jaw tightened. The Xylar were known for strict enforcement of interstellar rules. They did not tolerate humans, especially unregistered ones, near their territory. "They won't let us leave with the child," he said quietly. "What do we do?" Ryan asked. "We protect her," Elijah replied. "That's our mission now, more important than any negotiation." The Xylari ships appeared on the main screen. Sleek, angular, and intimidating, their hulls shimmered with a strange energy field. They sent a message, the translation appearing instantly on Claire's console. "Human presence detected. Child must be surrendered. Compliance required." Elijah stood, shoulders squared. "We won't give her up, not to them, not to anyone." The Xylar ships moved closer, sending pulses of energy that rattled the Nova Horizon's hull. Ryan quickly adjusted the shields. Their energy pulses are strong. If we don't move now, we could be disabled in minutes. Prepare evasive maneuvers, Elijah ordered. We can't fight them directly, but we can outsmart them. As the Nova horizon twisted and turned, dodging pulses and finding gaps in the alien sensors, Elijah looked at Lily. She clung to a blanket Ryan had given her, eyes wide but curious. "You're brave, you know that?" he said gently. She didn't answer, but her grip on the blanket tightened. Hours passed as they navigated through the asteroid fields near the Xyler system, using debris as cover. The crew worked tirelessly, adjusting shields, repairing minor damage, and keeping Lily calm. They spoke to her in soft, gentle tones, showing her human kindness in a universe that seemed indifferent. Finally, after tense hours of maneuvering, the Nova horizon slipped through the blockade. The Xyler ships pursued, but the crew used clever distractions, holographic decoys, and unpredictable maneuvers to escape. Elijah breathed a sigh of relief once they were clear. He turned to the crew. "We did it. She's safe for now." Ryan wiped sweat from his brow. "We can't let them catch up, Captain. They'll keep tracking us, and we don't even know if Earth will understand why we rescued her." Claire looked at Elijah, concern in her eyes. "They won't. Earth isn't happy about unapproved missions, especially involving humans outside their control. We might be in serious trouble when we report this." Elijah nodded, his mind racing. Protecting Lily was more than just a moral choice now. It was a dangerous gamble. Not only were the Xyler angry, but Earth itself might see them as rebels. Yet he felt a fierce determination. This child deserved protection, and humans deserved a chance to show their strength, their courage, and their compassion. As night fell in the distant reaches of space, Elijah sat with Lily in the small observation deck. She clutched a stuffed toy, one she must have found among the debris of the freighter, and looked out at the stars. "Do you miss home?" he asked softly. She shook her head slightly, tears welling in her eyes. I don't remember it." "That's okay," Elijah said. "We'll make a new one. Wherever we go, you'll have people who care about you." Lily smiled faintly, and for the first time since he found her, Elijah felt a glimmer of hope. Humans could be weak, small, and fragile. Yet here, floating in the cold emptiness of space, they were proving something else. They were clever, brave, and willing to fight for what was right. Little did Elijah know, their journey had only begun. The Xyler were just the first obstacle. Earth itself would soon declare its own war over the choices he had made. But for now, they had each other. And in the vast silence of space, that was enough. The crew worked through the night, repairing minor damages to the ship and preparing for the long journey ahead. Ryan and the engineers rigged temporary shields and reinforced the hull. Claire monitored communications, scanning for any signs of pursuing forces. Elijah kept a careful eye on the stars, always alert, always thinking 3 steps ahead. Lily began to trust the humans around her. She laughed softly at Ryan's awkward jokes and peeked curiously at Claire's console, fascinated by the flashing lights and data streams. The crew, in turn, grew protective of her. Every decision they made now centered on keeping her safe. Elijah realized then that this was what made humans special. It wasn't strength, technology, or even numbers. It was the will to protect, to care, to make sacrifices for others, even in the face of danger. He looked out the viewport at the distant stars and whispered to himself, "We will survive. We will endure. We are human, and we protect our own." The Nova horizon sailed on, carrying a small child and a crew who would risk everything for her. In the endless darkness of space, they were a flicker of light. A promise that humans, fragile yet determined, could face any challenge, no matter how impossible it seemed. And far across the stars, unknown to them, eyes watched. The Xyler were not the only ones aware of the human child. Somewhere on Earth, messages were being sent. Commands were being prepared, and a war not yet begun was about to be declared. Elijah did not know it, but this simple act of protection would ripple across the galaxy. Humans would be tested. Their courage, ingenuity, and morality would all be challenged. Yet he held Lily close, and in that moment he knew one truth that no alien, and soon no Earth authority, could ever take away. Humans fought for each other, and that made them unstoppable. The Nova horizon sailed farther from the Xyler system, but the danger did not disappear. Elijah Carter knew that escaping the Xyler blockade was only the beginning. Earth had been watching every step of their mission, and the rescue of Lily Parker would not go unnoticed. The crew moved through the ship quietly, tension heavy in the air. Every sound of the hum of engines or flicker of a monitor reminded them that they were now fugitives, not only from aliens but from their own people. Claire Bennett studied the communications console again and frowned. "Captain, Earth is trying to contact us. They're sending an override command to return the ship immediately. They've classified this mission as a violation. They want us back and they want the child." Elijah's jaw tightened. "We can't go back. She's not theirs. She's just a child. We can't hand her over to people who will treat her as property." Ryan Hamilton, rubbing the back of his neck, looked uneasy. "Captain, you know what this means. Earth won't just send a message. They'll send a fleet. They'll try to force us back." "Then we'll have to be ready," Elijah said firmly. "We protect her no matter what. It's our duty as humans." Lily, sitting in a small chair near the observation deck, overheard them. Her big brown eyes were full of curiosity and worry. She had begun to trust the crew, especially Elijah, who always spoke to her gently. "They want to take me?" she asked softly. Elijah knelt beside her. "Yes, but we won't let them. You're safe with us. We're your family now." She nodded, clutching her blanket tightly. The crew exchanged worried looks, knowing that protecting a child was more than just an act of kindness. It was an act of defiance against their own government. Days passed as the Nova Horizon traveled through uncharted space. Elijah and Ryan worked together on the ship's engines, trying to increase speed while conserving energy. Claire monitored the sensors for any approaching ships. The crew ate in shifts, slept when they could, and kept a constant watch. Every small creak of the ship or flicker on a screen made them jump, expecting an attack. Then one morning, a new alert sounded. Large ships appeared on the horizon, the unmistakable design of Earth's military vessels. Their markings glowed brightly against the black of space. The Nova Horizon's crew gathered around the main screen, hearts pounding. "They're here," Ryan muttered, "and they brought a fleet." Elijah's hands tightened on the command chair. "Prepare defenses, but remember, we can't fight them directly. We'll have to outsmart them." The fleet sent a message, clear and firm. "Nova Horizon, surrender immediately. The child Lily Parker must be returned. Failure to comply will result in destruction." Elijah stared at the screen for a long moment, then shook his head. "We won't surrender. We protect her whatever the cost." The first warning shots came moments later, small energy pulses meant to intimidate rather than destroy. The ship shook slightly, and alarms rang across the bridge. Ryan quickly rerouted power to the shields, while Claire tried to find a way to communicate peacefully. "Captain, we can't hold them forever," Ryan said. "They outnumber us 100 to 1. Elijah looked at him with determination. "We don't need to hold them forever. We need to be smarter than them. We're humans. We think differently. We adapt. They don't expect us to do things our way." The crew nodded, understanding what he meant. They began to act, improvising traps, decoys, and false signals. Ryan modified the ship's engines to create sudden bursts, throwing off the fleet's targeting systems. Claire sent out fake coordinates, making it seem like the ship had gone in one direction while it slipped silently into another. Lily watched from the corner, fascinated. She had begun to understand that humans were clever in ways aliens, and even their own people, could not predict. She held onto her blanket, quietly admiring the crew's courage. Hours of tense maneuvering followed. Earth's fleet tried to box them in, but the Nova Horizon moved like a shadow through space, using debris, asteroid belts, and small moons to hide. Elijah stayed calm, giving orders with precision and confidence. Every choice he made was a risk, but he trusted his crew and their ingenuity. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the fleet seemed to pull back slightly, unable to predict the ship's next move. The crew breathed a little easier, though they knew this was only temporary. In the quiet that followed, Ryan spoke. "Captain, what we're defying Earth. They'll never forgive us." Elijah nodded slowly. "I know, but we're doing what is right. She's a human, and we protect our own." Humans survive not just by strength, but by caring, by courage, by not giving up. That's what we're showing them. Claire looked at Lily, who had begun to eat a small meal they had prepared. "She's just a child. Can you imagine how scared she must be?" Elijah placed a hand on Claire's shoulder. "We can't imagine fully, but we can give her hope, and hope is stronger than fear." The next days were tense but productive. Ryan and the engineers repaired minor damages, making the Nova Horizon faster and more efficient. Claire continued monitoring communications, trying to find any way to negotiate with Earth while staying hidden. The crew took shifts with Lily, reading to her, telling stories, and keeping her calm. They were a small family, united by a mission larger than themselves. Then one night the ship's sensors picked up another signal. This time it was different, alien in origin, not the Xyler. The readings were faint but unmistakable. A small ship approached quietly, almost hidden by the darkness of space. "Another alien vessel?" Claire asked, concern in her voice. Elijah studied the readings. "I don't know, but we need to be careful. If they detect us protecting her, they may attack." The ship docked cautiously and a figure emerged. It was not a Xyler nor a human. It was tall, with skin that shimmered like liquid metal and eyes that glowed faintly. It spoke in a voice that resonated directly in the mind. "Human child detected. She must be studied. Surrender her or face consequences." Elijah stepped forward. "We protect her. She is human." "She belongs with humans, not aliens." The figure tilted its head, observing him. "Humans are fragile, unpredictable. You cannot protect her forever." "We'll see about that," Elijah replied firmly. He gestured to the crew. "Prepare defensive measures. Ryan, get shields online. Claire, monitor all frequencies. We don't know what they might try." The alien vessel circled the Nova horizon, testing its shields and defenses. Energy pulses grazed the hull, making small sparks fly in the corridor. Ryan worked quickly, improvising with the ship's systems to absorb and deflect the attacks. The crew moved with efficiency and courage, showing why humans were hard to underestimate. Lily watched quietly, eyes wide. She didn't fully understand what was happening, but she trusted Elijah and the crew. She clutched her blanket tightly, feeling safe in the chaos. Hours passed with small skirmishes, dodges, and careful maneuvers. Elijah realized that humans were always underestimated, but their strength was in creativity, adaptability, and the will to protect others. The aliens had more power, more advanced technology, but humans had ingenuity and determination. Finally, the alien vessel withdrew, possibly realizing that the human crew was too clever to trap easily. Elijah let out a long breath, feeling the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. "This is just the beginning," he said quietly. "They will keep coming. Earth will keep coming, but we protect her. We endure, we survive." Claire nodded. "We're ready. Whatever comes, we fight for her." Ryan smiled grimly. "I never thought I'd say this, but I'm proud to be human right now." Elijah looked out at the stars, thinking of the journey ahead. Protecting Lily had put them in the crosshairs of aliens and their own government, but he knew that humans could rise to challenges no one expected. The will to protect, the courage to stand firm, and the ability to think in ways no one anticipated, these were the traits that made humans remarkable. As the Nova horizon continued through space, Elijah sat beside Lily once more. "We'll keep going," he said gently. "You'll never be alone. Humans fight for each other, and we will fight for you." She looked at him and smiled faintly, a small sign of trust and hope. In that moment, Elijah felt a surge of determination. The galaxy could challenge them, aliens could pursue them, and Earth could declare war, but humans had something stronger than fear and firepower. They had heart, courage, and the will to protect their own. And with that, the Nova horizon sailed on, carrying a small child and a crew willing to face the entire galaxy to keep her safe. The challenges ahead were many, but Elijah knew one truth: humans were not just survivors. Humans were fighters. And sometimes, that was enough to change the course of history. The Nova horizon drifted silently through an uncharted region of space. Captain Elijah Carter sat at the command console, staring at the blinking lights of the navigation panel. Earth's fleet had retreated for now, but he knew it was only temporary. The aliens who had observed them earlier had left, but their presence lingered like a shadow. He rubbed his eyes, thinking about Lily. She slept in a small cot nearby, peaceful for the first time in days. Claire Bennett approached quietly, holding a data tablet. "Captain, I've been scanning for any signals from Earth or alien fleets. There's nothing close by, but sensors are picking up a strange energy signature on a nearby planet." Elijah leaned over the tablet. "What kind of signature?" "It's faint, but it seems biological, like a resonance, almost like it's reacting to Lily somehow." Ryan Hamilton, who had been repairing a minor power fluctuation in the engines, looked up. "You mean she's causing it?" Claire nodded slowly. "I don't know, but it's unusual. Human bodies don't normally emit this kind of energy." Elijah frowned. "Then we need to investigate. It could be dangerous, but it could also be important. Ryan, prepare a landing shuttle. Claire, keep monitoring sensors." "We're not going in blind." They prepared the shuttle carefully. Lily was bundled up in a warm blanket. She looked at Elijah nervously. "Where are we going?" "Somewhere safe for now," he said gently. "We're just going to see something special. You don't have to worry." The shuttle detached from the Nova horizon and descended toward the planet. Its surface was rocky, with scattered forests and mountains. Strange light reflected off the clouds, giving the atmosphere an almost golden hue. As they landed, Elijah felt a twinge of unease. Something about the planet felt alive. Ryan stepped out first, scanning with a portable device. "The energy is stronger here. It's like the planet itself is responding to her presence." Lily clutched Elijah's hand. I don't feel scared here," she whispered. Elijah smiled faintly. "That's a good sign. Stay close to me." They moved cautiously across the rocky terrain. The energy readings grew stronger, pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. Suddenly, the ground beneath them trembled, and a faint hum filled the air. The trees seemed to lean slightly toward them, and small animals peered curiously from hiding spots. Claire whispered, "I've never seen anything like this. It's as if the planet knows we're here." Ryan adjusted his scanner. "It's definitely reacting to her. Maybe her biology is different, unique." Elijah knelt beside Lily. "Do you feel that? The ground, the air, it's alive just like you are. Maybe that's why they're after you. Maybe there's something about humans they don't understand." As they walked further, a hidden valley opened up. At the center was a small pool of glowing water. The energy readings spiked. Lily approached it cautiously, her reflection shimmering in the light. She touched the water with a finger, and the glow spread outward like ripples. Elijah watched closely. "Ryan, Claire, look at this. She's doing something. It's interacting with the planet." Ryan's eyes widened. "Her body, it's emitting a resonance, like the planet responds to her energy. I've never seen anything like it." Claire took notes frantically. "This could explain why the aliens and even Earth are so interested. She's not just a human child. She's exceptional." Lily smiled faintly, unaware of the implications. She had never known her own strength, her own uniqueness. Elijah realized then that protecting her was not only about keeping her safe, but also about nurturing her potential. Suddenly, a communications signal broke through. It was Earth. "Nova Horizon, you must surrender the child immediately. She is classified under high-priority containment protocol. Refusal will result in military action." Elijah pressed a button to respond. "This is Captain Elijah Carter. The child is under my protection. We will not comply. Any attempt to take her will be met with resistance." "Humans protect humans." The transmission ended, leaving silence in its wake. Ryan muttered, "They won't give up. This is just the beginning. Earth has decided this is war." Elijah nodded. "Then we'll prepare. We'll show them why humans cannot be controlled by fear. Humans survive because we adapt, because we protect what matters, and because we never give up." As they returned to the shuttle, the planet seemed to hum even more strongly. It was as if it recognized the child as something vital, something important. Elijah realized that Lily was not just any human. She carried potential that could change everything. Back on the Nova horizon, the crew gathered to discuss strategy. They needed to anticipate both Earth and alien responses. Ryan proposed modifications to the ship's defenses, while Claire worked on communication encryption to avoid detection. Elijah spoke to the crew, his voice firm. "We are facing powerful forces, both alien and human, but we have something they don't expect. Ingenuity, courage, and a willingness to fight for what is right. We will protect her, and in doing so we show the galaxy the strength of humanity." The crew worked tirelessly. They repaired systems, reinforced shields, and trained for evasive maneuvers. Every member knew the stakes. Protecting Lily was not just about one child. It was about proving that humans could face any threat and endure. Lily began to show small signs of understanding her own abilities. She could sense minor changes in the ship, warn the crew before minor system failures, and even intuitively find the safest paths through asteroid fields. Her presence inspired the crew, giving them hope even in the darkest moments. Days later, a new threat appeared. A small fleet of Xyler ships returned, drawn by the child's unique energy. Elijah assessed the situation. "We cannot outrun them this time. We'll need to think creatively. Humans survive by thinking differently." Ryan quickly devised a plan. They would use the ship's energy cores to create temporary decoys, tricking the Xyler into attacking illusions while the Nova horizon slipped past. Claire coordinated communication interference to block the Xyler sensors. The crew worked with precision, executing each step flawlessly. As the Xylar fleet engaged the decoys, the Nova Horizon accelerated quietly through hidden space routes. The aliens, frustrated and confused, could not anticipate human unpredictability. Elijah watched from the bridge, feeling a mix of pride and relief. Humans were fragile, yes, but their mind, their courage, and their ability to improvise made them formidable. Once the Xylar fleet was behind them, Elijah turned to Lily. "You're safe for now. But you must understand the galaxy will challenge you. Many will see you as a tool, a weapon, or a prize, but we will protect you always." Lily nodded, eyes shining. "I understand. I want to help." Elijah smiled. "That's the spirit. Humans don't just survive. We fight, we adapt, we protect. You're part of that now." The days that followed were tense. Earth's fleet remained in pursuit, sending messages, warnings, and ultimatums. Elijah, Ryan, and Claire worked tirelessly to stay ahead, using human ingenuity to outmaneuver their enemies. The crew developed new strategies, creating makeshift cloaking fields, rerouting power for emergency bursts, and even improvising weapons for defense if needed. Lily continued to grow in understanding, sensing danger before it arrived and offering insights that sometimes saved the crew from disaster. She was young, but her potential was clear. The crew realized that protecting her was not just a duty, it was a mission to preserve the future of humanity itself. One night, as the Nova Horizon glided silently through space, Elijah sat beside Lily in the observation deck. Stars stretched infinitely around them, distant and cold. "Do you ever feel scared?" he asked gently. She shook her head. "Not really. I feel strong with you all," he smiled, ruffling her hair. "That's because humans are strong even when we feel small. We protect each other, we fight, and we never give up. And you are part of that strength now." As they watched the stars, Elijah knew that the challenges ahead would be greater. Earth would not stop, aliens would not relent, and the universe would continue to test them. But he also knew one truth that could not be denied. Humans were resilient, adaptable, and willing to fight for what they loved. And with Lily under their protection, they would show the galaxy exactly what humanity was capable of. The Nova Horizon moved cautiously through the outer reaches of space. Captain Elijah Carter stood at the command console, watching the distant glow of stars. He knew the time for running was over. Earth had declared a full-scale pursuit, sending a fleet of warships to reclaim Lily Parker. The child's unique abilities, combined with the decisions Elijah had made, had turned a small mission into an interstellar crisis. Claire Bennett monitored communications, her fingers flying over the console. "Captain, the Earth fleet has just entered range. They've issued an ultimatum: surrender the child or face annihilation." Elijah tightened his jaw. "We don't surrender. Humans protect humans." "That's what we do. Ready the crew. We're going to show them what we're capable of." Ryan Hamilton worked quickly in the engineering bay, adjusting the ship's engines for maximum speed and agility. "Captain, our shields can hold against energy pulses but not direct attacks. We'll have to rely on maneuvers and clever tricks. Earth doesn't expect humans to think this way." Lily, sitting nearby with her blanket, looked at Elijah nervously. "Are they going to hurt us?" Elijah knelt beside her, smiling softly. "They might try, but we are ready. We have each other, and humans never give up. We will protect you." The crew gathered for a final briefing. Each member knew the risks. They had faced alien pursuers before, but never their own people in full force. The room was tense, but also resolute. Humans might be fragile, but their courage and ingenuity could turn impossible odds into survival. "Our plan," Elijah began, "is to use the ship's agility, our knowledge of space, and every bit of creativity we have. We will evade their fleet, and if we must fight, we'll do it in ways they don't expect. Humans survive by thinking differently. Humans survive by protecting what is theirs." The fleet appeared on the horizon like a wall of light, massive ships bristling with weapons. The Nova Horizon was small in comparison, but it was fast, maneuverable, and filled with humans willing to fight. The first wave of attacks came quickly. Energy blasts struck the shields, causing sparks and shaking the ship. Alarms rang through the corridors. Ryan shouted, "Shields at maximum. Divert power to engines for evasive maneuvers." Elijah gave orders calmly but firmly, guiding the crew through precise, unexpected movements. The Nova Horizon darted through asteroid fields, using floating debris to break line of sight. Small bursts of energy misdirected the fleet, creating temporary gaps in their attack patterns. Claire monitored all frequencies, sending out false signals and holographic decoys. They're reacting, she said. They don't know where we are, we're confusing them. Lily watched in awe as the crew worked together. She had never imagined humans could be so clever. Quietly, she began to sense subtle shifts in the ship's systems, noticing patterns before anyone else. She whispered warnings, and the crew adjusted accordingly. Her presence was small but vital. Hours passed in a tense dance of attacks, evasion, and strategy. The Earth fleet was powerful, but they could not predict the unpredictable nature of humans. Elijah realized that their strength was not in firepower alone, but in courage, quick thinking, and teamwork. As the battle continued, one of the larger Earth ships broke formation, attempting a direct assault. Elijah ordered a risky maneuver, diving the Nova Horizon into a narrow canyon of asteroids. The fleet hesitated, unsure how to follow without colliding. Ryan adjusted the engines, guiding the ship through tight spaces with precision. "We're in," Ryan shouted, "but it's tight." "Any mistake could destroy us," Elijah nodded. "Humans don't make mistakes when they protect what matters most. Hold steady." The Earth ship fired, but the missiles were deflected by cleverly timed shield pulses. The Nova Horizon slipped through the canyon, emerging safely on the other side. The crew cheered quietly. They had survived another attack, but the battle was far from over. Claire intercepted another transmission from Earth. "Nova Horizon, surrender now. This is your last warning. The child Lily Parker is under Earth jurisdiction. Compliance is mandatory." Elijah pressed a hand to his forehead, thinking, "They don't understand humans. Humans don't follow orders when they know it's wrong. Humans protect each other, even against impossible odds. We fight and we survive. That's who we are." He turned to the crew. "This is our stand. We protect Lily and we show them what it means to be human. Ready yourselves. Whatever comes, we endure." The fleet pressed forward, but the Nova Horizon was ready. Ryan and the engineers had rigged small energy pulses to create temporary decoys, making the fleet think the ship was in multiple places at once. Claire's communications interference scrambled sensors. The humans were small and fragile, but their minds were fast, their hearts steady, and their will unbreakable. Lily began to sense subtle patterns in the battle. She pointed to the controls instinctively, warning of an incoming attack. The crew followed her advice, and a direct strike missed, grazing the ship harmlessly. She was young, but already part of their strength. The battle reached its climax near a dense asteroid belt. The Earth fleet tried to trap the Nova Horizon, but Elijah had one final plan. "We lure them into the belt," he said. "Humans survive by taking risks and using the environment. Follow my lead." The crew nodded. The ship zigzagged through the asteroids, narrowly avoiding collisions. Energy blasts from the fleet bounced off rocks, and several ships were forced to retreat to avoid damage. The Nova Horizon, small and agile, darted between the largest asteroids, using every trick humans had ever invented in space survival. As the fleet broke apart in frustration, Elijah spoke to Lily. "See, humans survive, humans fight for what matters, and we protect each other. You are safe now." Lily smiled, a small beam of hope shining in her eyes. She had begun to understand what it meant to be human: courage, protection, and ingenuity. The remaining ships retreated, realizing that humans could not be controlled by force alone. They could plan, improvise, and fight with determination that no technology could fully predict. The galaxy had witnessed the strength of humanity. Elijah turned to the crew, pride in his eyes. "We did it. We protected her. We endured. Humans survive not because they are strongest, but because we never give up and we protect what is ours." Ryan grinned. "And we did it together. That's humans for you," Claire added softly. "We've shown them that humans can't be underestimated. Even our own fleet can't control us when we stand for what is right." Lily hugged her blanket tightly, but this time it was different. She was calm, feeling safe among humans who would fight for her. She looked at Elijah. "I want to help protect humans too," she said. Elijah smiled. "You already are. Humans protect each other, and you are part of that now. The universe will learn that lesson sooner or later." The Nova Horizon continued its journey through the stars. The child was safe, the crew was united, and humans had proven once again that courage, ingenuity, and the will to protect could overcome even impossible odds. The galaxy would remember this small crew and the child they had protected. Humans were no longer just fragile beings in the vast universe. They were fighters, survivors, and protectors. As they sailed past the final range of the retreating fleet, Elijah looked at the stars and whispered, "We will survive, we will endure, and we will protect each other." Always, that is who we are. That is what it means to be human. And in that moment, the Nova Horizon glowed with quiet strength, carrying a small child, a determined crew, and the spirit of humanity into the endless possibilities of space. The battle was over, but the story of humans fighting, surviving, and protecting one another had only begun. The galaxy had seen what humans could do when faced with impossible odds, and it would never forget.